Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well, protected and provided for wherever you are. Welcome to my channel for those who are new and for those who have been with me for a while now. Welcome back. I hope you're all okay. Before I proceed with this video, I would just like to thank you for all the likes, the shares, subscribes, and also for the comments. I enjoyed reading your comments, so thank you so much. They continue to keep me inspired and motivated also, and I am very thankful that they are somehow uplifting you and that you're enjoying these videos as much as I enjoy recording them. Okay, now that said, as little confession, you wouldn't believe how many times I tried to record this. Around more than 10. More than 10. I don't know what was happening, but before, prior to this, I was just relaxed and I knew what I was going to talk about, and I knew how I was going to deliver it. I was trying, actually, um, starting to practice it off camera, and then all of a sudden, when I started recording this, I couldn't get it out. Now, those of you who have been following me for a while know that sometimes this happens to me, and ironically, the messages that come out hold hold a significant weight to them. Okay, and also it's like when I was starting this, when I was starting to make the videos, the first one, second, third, and fourth, and so on. It's like I could feel something else, like probably what's happening around the world suddenly setting in. And then, so after several takes, I stopped for a while, and then all of a sudden, I got this call from someone close to me also, and who was temporarily overcome with the fear of this pandemic. Okay, and then I thought, okay, so that's what it was all about. Well, for me at least, but I guess this is also in relation to the fear that is just going on around the world, and also some of us are in a state of panic. We don't know what's going to happen, what's going to come out of this, when this is going to end, and what other stuff will be resulting in the next couple of days and weeks ahead. Okay, so before we proceed, I would just like to ask you to just breathe. Okay, breathe, relax, and if you recall my video previous to this, it was about a dream with three visions of Jesus, and one of which Jesus or God was just towering over the whole earth, which gave me an impression of a poster that I saw where he was just holding the world and the world was smaller, and Jesus, God, and the essence of God was just so huge and magnificent and gigantic, colossal, all the other synonyms that you could put with it. Okay, now I would like to start off having that with that thought in mind, and well, sort of just transferring that that vastness of the presence of God inside us. So if we have God inside us, then our worlds won't be so constricting, and we would be able to breathe, hopefully. Okay, so again, again again, as I mentioned a while ago, I had a dream, and it's what I'm going to discuss with you right here. um so this dream happened around 2 weeks ago. I haven't been recording anything for over 2 weeks now, almost 3 weeks, and this is the third weekend. And then it so happens that last Sunday was Pentecost Sunday. Now, those who are not aware of Pentecost Sunday, it is in commemoration of the time when Jesus, when after Jesus was crucified, all his apostles were just gathered in a room, very fearful of what might happen to them without Jesus already, and fearing, and fearing what would happen to Jesus, what would happen to them next. Like, are they going to be next? Which is sort of like the same thing, the same fear that we have during this pandemic. Am I going to be next? But then the beautiful thing that happened during Pentecost is that suddenly there were tongues of fire that descended on the heads of each of the apostles that did not burn them. They were not actually real fire, but they were, the Holy Spirit descended upon them in tongues of fire, and suddenly they were filled with this renewed strength and courage, and they were speaking in different languages, and it's like they, well, in a way, as an analogy, I think speaking in different languages would mean being able to understand, okay? Understand more of what's going on, understand other people, understanding of what's going on, okay? So if we are in fear of, am I going to be next? Okay, I think what could pacify that is having the Holy Spirit in us, or having the essence of God, or whoever you call God to be in your own belief system, and such. Having that and letting that descend in you, and being able to understand more of what it is like to have the essence of God inside us. Okay, it could make us find our strength, our courage, and it would open up a whole new, well, a whole new world, Aladdin, a whole new world for us, where we're not so constricted in fear and all these negative thoughts. Okay, so there. So this is really, a very exciting message of Pentecost. Now, a few days before that, or yeah, a few days before that, or a week before that, is the dream that I had. Now, it's not in relation to Pentecost, but it's still in connection with what I deem to be messages from Spirit, from God. Okay, so I mentioned also in my other videos that I don't get to dream of Jesus a lot. Not Jesus in his Jesus form, but then for me, just as dreams of people with angel names are sort of representation of angels communicating to me, or having their presence known to me. Dreams of Christ to me, how I have taken them, are dreams of friends with the word Christ in their names. Okay, like Christine, Christina, Christian, Christopher. So the dream that I had, that I'm going to share with you, is a dream I had where which started with a friend named Christina, and the setting was in the cathedral grounds. So there's this famous cathedral where I live, and then um but everything that transpired was not inside the cathedral, it was right beside the cathedral. Okay, and then so what happened was, the start of the dream was that there was this sort of segment of a river just plopped beside the church. well, we all know that our dreams can take us different places and they don't really make sense. How could part of a river be just like that? And it was not even a pool. It was just like there was it was just like a segment of the river that was just cut a segment of a river and then put it beside the church, and there was nothing solid holding it. So basically just part of a river. Okay. And then as the dream progressed, it felt more and more like the Jordan River. And at first, this realization came to me, um, because how it started was my friend went like went in the river, and she was submerged in the river, and then suddenly she got her head under the water for a while and then surfaced. And then I went next. Okay, and then when I went in a different way. It was like when you do a backstroke and then half of your body is just lying down in the water. That's how I did it. And then I was looking up at the sky, and suddenly well, my hair was under the water, and then my head was under the water, and then I got up. Okay. Now, the Jordan River, it felt more and more like the Jordan River as I tried to think about the dream, and as I got into the feels of the dream. And given as the first one to get inside the water was my friend Christina Christ, so it's a symbol for me. I take this as a symbol of Christ Himself being in the river. So it was just like a reenactment in modern day time of Jesus' baptism. Okay, so how that happened when Jesus was baptized was when he was face to face with John the Baptist, who was hesitant to perform the baptismal rites at that time. Well, because knowing that he is Jesus, the Son of God, and when it was Jesus' turn, there was this, just like Pentecost Sunday, there was this dove, which is usually a symbol of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit in the form of a dove that descended on the head of above the head of Jesus, and then suddenly there was this voice coming from God the Father saying, "This is my Son, with whom I am well pleased." Okay, so there, and then I followed, and I guess the rest of 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 the people in line were doing the same thing as well there. And then, well, I would like to stop in here and get into the symbolisms even more. So given what we are going through now, and well, the state of things, the state of what we are in, I've always been stressing this out. It is a reflective type for each and every one of us. And baptism also in the olden days and even now is just the forgiveness of sins and stuff like that. So I guess this time where we are in is very symbolic and very conducive for reflecting on our lives and purging out the things that we thought we needed, that we don't need after all, and going back to basics, and also taking a look at our lives and perhaps the things where we might have gone wrong and the things we might have done differently, and stuff like that. I guess, well, I would leave this to you as something personal between you and God. But whatever it is that we were purging, it's just like, the analogy of when you're taking a shower and then you rub your skin and then dirt comes off. Now, all of these things that were attached to us that were probably undesirable, that we were able to let go of already, and all of the things, and probably the extra luxuries that we thought we needed, that we don't really need anyway after all. stuff like that. Now, I don't mean to say that they are not they do make us happy, but then they are not what we are, part of our very core. Okay, now we realize what are the important, the essentials, and what are the extras. And maybe we have been brought to the realization of what we have put more importance on, or what we have spent our time more on, as compared to what it is that we really value. This is a very good time to think of the things that we value more. If anything, our relationships, maybe we have come close to how much they mean to us, or they have meant to us. And especially if we don't get to see our loved ones, or if we don't get to see people who are important to us, and then suddenly we realize how much we miss those times, and how much we should perhaps have given more time to all of the things that we now feel that are really important to us. Okay, now baptism, well, as I see it, also it's just like, well, going back to the shower, and then you rub off the dirt from your body, and then you just go into the shower, and then it's not part of you anymore. So it's not part of you anymore. So when you're under the shower, and you have the freshness of the water coursing through your body, it takes away all of this. It takes away all of this, and we are brought to the realization that these things that we don't necessarily have as part of us anymore. The extras, like you said, the extras in other stuff that we could actually let go of already, are washed away from us. So like that. Well, I hope you get what I mean. I hope I'm conveying this in a way that is clear enough for you to understand. So there. So it's like that. Okay. So, well, anyway, so those things that we could do away with are not part of us anymore. I mean, or very core anymore. It doesn't mean that you don't miss driving your car around and stuff like that. But well, anyway, our very essence as human beings and as spiritual beings is like being cleansed with the Holy Spirit. Okay, and getting deep into our core and our essence, and just loving what we are becoming out of all of this. Okay, so there. Now, this will be a long video. I hope you're still with me. Anyway, next part of the dream is that the water was like coursing through a ramp. It wasn't the whole river, it wasn't the entire river, but it was just like when the pavement gets wet when it rains, something like that. It's like part of the river was coursing through a ramp, and so there was water rushing through there, but well, safe enough not to be slippery, and people were just walking on that, and it didn't really diminish the water level. So there, it's like there was a continuous flow of these healing waters from the river, which I have a deep conviction to have been part of the Jordan River, where Jesus was baptized. Anyway, it was part of the ramp, and then I was following my friend, and then it was going to this it just walking until the end of the ramp opened up to this very huge hall, a very huge hall. So this was not inside the cathedral, it was outside the cathedral, almost underground. But once you get down, this hall had, I couldn't even see the ceilings of the hall. And then if you look back, you couldn't see where it ended. Okay. um the it wasn't really bright. It was made of like clay. It was reddish brown, like very earthy. And then there was this long line, very long line. You don't know where it ended. And I saw some of the people that I knew. And then we were walking on this carpet, and then toward an altar, or just the front of an altar, and then the line would the line would curve back, and then there were pews where people were sitting, and a lot of the people that I knew were there, and a lot of more people whom I didn't know. And what was fascinating about this was that the altar that I was talking about was just it wasn't very vivid. It's like, I guess it wasn't very vivid because it was unlike anything recognizable. So it was more like a canvas, but not a white canvas. It was still the color, the reddish brown color of that, like, clay structure, that massive structure. But it was just like the front was just the front where the altar was supposed to be was just like a canvas where you could draw or paint anything on, or you could set it up the way you want it. So I guess this was a symbolism of universality, universal love, universal faith. So you could just go there and have it as a place of prayer or meditation, the way you would like it to look for you. So maybe if um maybe for some it could look like a mosque, for others it could look like a cathedral, for others it could look like a temple. So there, and I found it really beautiful because, I've always been an advocate of universality, and growing up, we were raised to just respect each and everyone. Okay, so there, and then everyone was just there, and everyone was just going. Everyone just had been baptized, quote unquote, just got immersed in the water, got cleansed, and then they were all there, and they were smiling, and not they, we were. We were all there, and we were greeting each other, and no walls, no differences. And I think we were even wearing the same. I don't know. There were no flashy colors. It's like we had our own uniform, but in our own styles. From how I look at it. Okay, so there's a lot more I could tell you about this dream, but I hope I could leave you a picture of this. And I firmly believe, just as I believe that my other dreams are symbols for and messages for all of us, that this is what is happening to us in a spiritual sense. Like, we never know what's happening. We never have a clear picture of what our spirits are going through, but actually this looks something like it. So despite this pandemic that we are surrounded by, that we are sometimes in fear of, that's just around all over the world, um, it is my firm belief that in a spiritual sense, we have been cleansed. We have been going through like a purification process in a deeper sense, in our very core, in our spiritual um, makeup. or something like that. Okay, so it's a very beautiful dream, and well, how I wish I could convey with you the feeling, and I hope that I was able to describe this to you in a way that would make you somehow capture the feeling. And then it all began with Christ. Okay, so this is where Christ is leading us. So just stay firm in your faith, and let us just continue to see how we are all the same, and how we are all going through this together, and how we are going out of this together. Okay, guys. So I guess this is where I end this video. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything more I would like to talk about, maybe I would make another video. But so far, this is just me, Alvie, saying find your strength, find your peace, stay with God, and continue to build your spiritual strength. Okay, take care and God bless. Bye.